What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Bigger Than Bikes YouTube channel, where today we got a new project in the shop. So this here is a 2005 Harley Dyna Super Glide. Got this actually on trade as a part of a trade deal for the CBR 900 that if you've been following the channel, you saw us restore. So I've never been in the Harley game, but when this deal popped up, I was kind of curious and decided that, might as well jump on it and see what all the hype these Harleys is about. So I actually got this a couple weeks ago and have spent the last couple weeks storing up some parts for it, which I have pretty much bought entirely used off of Facebook Marketplace and eBay. So this is the big score here. This is a custom front end based off of the Harley Wide Glide, but I believe they are made by a custom builder called Forks by Frank. So we got those along with the triples, the headlight, the handlebars. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to use this brake caliper or not on my setup. It also came with a bunch of other stuff. New master cylinder, risers, which I don't think I'm gonna use. Also came with some turn signals. Yeah, and I don't even have everything pictured here that I was able to get. And then I also scored some used spoke wheels. So the only thing new I got for this build was the tires. Everything else is used, so we could keep this kind of a budget build, which I thought would be fun to really transform this bike. For under $1,000 is the goal, which I think is very doable, especially because I believe we can start selling stuff like the bags are definitely going to come off. The one thing I haven't gotten yet is a different seat, which this is a pretty nice seat. We'll be able to sell that. We'll be able to sell the front end, all the handlebars. I'm going to be keeping all the controls and that sort of thing. But yeah, I thought it'd be fun to do kind of a budget build and get to wrench on some Harleys and learn some stuff about these. So yeah, I think we're gonna kind of dive right into it. We're gonna start taking off stuff that we know we're not gonna use, such as these bags and whatnot back here, and then I'll probably start on the front end. So it looks like to get these bolts out, I'm gonna have to pull the rear wheel. So they hit the rear wheel on the inside. And to get this bracket off, I'm gonna have to pull the rear wheel. I'm gonna have to do that anyway to get the new one on, obviously. So I'm thinking maybe I'll just start there instead of moving to the front end. So we got the first fork in, and just wanted to show these forks off real quick. I think I mentioned earlier in the video they are Forks by Frank, or something by Frank, and these have to be some of the beefiest triple clamps I have ever seen. And they also have a pretty unique design. You can see it's actually threaded up in there, and the top of the stanchion here is also threaded, so you don't see any of the fork actually on the triple tree, which is pretty interesting. Kind of different, kind of cool. So here it is. This is, for now, how the bobber sits. I think it's looking pretty darn good. There's already a couple things that I'm noticing that I'll need to do to it. I was hoping this rear fender would sit a little bit more flush with the tire there, so I'm gonna look at maybe getting some lowering shocks for the rear of this. Also, I'm not 100% sure about this exhaust. I'm thinking maybe something a little bit shorter. Not sure if I want to stay 2-into-1. From what I've been told, the 2-into-1 gives you more power, but if anybody has any experience with just the duals versus the 2-into-1, and if it's actually noticeable, then drop it in the comments. Also, this big air filter right there, thinking about maybe getting something a little bit smaller for that. But all around, I'm super happy with how it's looking. Yeah, if there's any other suggestions from any people that are familiar with Dynas, please drop them in the comments. Really regarding anything that's a worthwhile upgrade for these, I would be interested in. And yeah, if you guys like this build, subscribe, like the video, and we'll see you in the next one.